Let's Ruin It podcast, where we take your favorite pop culture media, put a legal spin on it, and like all lawyers, we ruin it. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Jenny. I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts.
Why, thank you. My name is Liz.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Today we are doing a dream of a movie, honestly. A millennial dream of a movie. Yeah, I think so.
A rom-com of,
For the ages.
It brought back nostalgia.
Quintessential rom-com. Actually, Mindy Kaling always cites this movie as her favorite
Inspiration?
rom-com.
Really?
Of all time. Mhm. And it is You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail. Was that not like the most amazing thing to hear when you logged into AOL after
100%.
You've Got Mail.
When I heard it, again, when rewatching this movie,
Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
Yes.
Like, I just loved that guy's voice.
Yes.
I loved hearing it when I logged on. I'm like, oh, somebody likes me. It's
Oh
so
my God.
exciting.
I was saying, like, I like the
I've got
sound of, like,
mail.
door opening.
Yeah.
Someone signed on, door closing, someone signed off. Like, that thrill. We don't have that thrill anymore.
But also someone signed off and like didn't talk to you.
You're like, oh my God.
There was
that guy.
There was the torture of how long it took, though, with the.
Yes.
And then someone
You're
would like pick up the phone and everyone's
Yeah.
like, no, and now I'm kicked offline.
Exactly. I'm
So,
kicked offline.
I actually watched this movie with my 9-year-old and I was trying to explain
Oh, she
to
could
her.
not relate at all.
She couldn't. I was trying to explain to her about the sound that we had to log in and that no one could talk on the phone. And if someone picked up
way.
the phone,
No, they don't even know.
She was mortified.
I
Of
know.
course she was.
She was like, well, I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, it was
Right.
like an archaic time. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, what a way to live.
Literally,
Yeah.
we might have been cave people at
I
that
mean, we really
point.
were.
Like, oh,
Just
my
like-
God.
and I would sit
the
on
dawn of the internet.
I would sit on
Like,
AIM for hours,
Oh, God.
and then my mom would come home and be like, "No one's been able to get through. The phone lines are busy," and I'd have to get off.
Oh, I remember when my parents added a second phone line because of this, and I was like, yes, my life is so much better now.
But you know what? And I don't mean to like. I don't want to take this down a bad path. I
Okay.
don't mean
Do
it that
it.
way.
Let's
No,
do
I
it.
don't.
Let's ruin
I
everything.
don't. But do you guys remember? I loved the chat rooms. I loved going in and
so
talking
did all those
to
like 50-year-old men.
I know, and that's why I said I don't want to go down a bad path.
Because
but
I remember,
I loved
like,
meeting
there-
other people that I didn't friggin' know.
But
and
I
just
definitely
talking
remember like
until it got
friends
weird.
of mine and
Yeah.
I like we're like 11 and we're like ASL, like age, sex, location, and like pretending that we're like 29 living in New York
yeah.
City, and it's like talking to a creepy old man.
That's creepy.
Like there were no safeguards. There was
No.
nothing. It was a wild, wild west.
But with that
I know,
said, this movie, it was meant to be them getting back together after Sleepless in Seattle. And
By the way, I love Sleepless in
I love-
Seattle more.
that holds
more.
up. That holds up.
Way
I don't
better
know.
than this one.
I don't know if I love it more.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do.
Because I mean, they don't know each other. They
this
just, like, see
movie,
each other.
this movie
they
holds up,
feel each
held
other.
up in my head better than when I rewatched
If
it.
if you
crashed
rewatch
to the ground for
Sleepless in
me.
Seattle, it actually does, I think, age well. Like Sleepless in Seattle.
You know why?
holds up.
Because it's based on that classic movie.
Which one?
Oh, the one because they
The
talk about
black
it
and
in
white,
the-
they talk
yes,
about
cry.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they talk about meeting at the Empire State Building and all that
yes.
stuff, and it's a classic.
and the legs and the blanket.
Oh, she's she can't walk. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay. The point is that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are competing booksellers.
Yes.
Right? And also, unbeknownst to them, they have found each other in a chat room.
Right.
And
We don't find out how. Like the movie starts with they're already in the midst of
Yeah, so
chatting.
they have become internet friends and they chat with each other. But meanwhile, he is the heir to the Fox books,
which
like,
is supposed to be Barnes and
it's
Noble.
Barnes and Noble. It's a family
Yeah.
business that he.
I don't know that Barnes and Noble was family, but that's the spin on this
What
one.
I'm saying is, it's
Yeah.
the family that owns it. Like
But
Fox,
it's the conglomerate.
he's Joe Fox of
it's-
Fox Books.
Yeah, it's the conglomerate bookstore
With
that
his-
is like kind of like all the other things. The big corporate giant that comes in
the
and shuts
Walmart
down all
that
the mom
comes
and
in,
pops.
and then yes,
Yep.
and so hers
Yep.
is a very much mom and pop. Like her mother owned
very
it. It's a
much.
shop around the corner. It's an
Yeah.
adorable little independent mom and pop shop. A bookstore.
Children's bookstore though, like
And adorable.
unique
And
niche.
she does well. I mean, is she on the Upper West Side or Upper East Side? I forget.
West.
Upper West. So I mean,
adorable.
she's not in a cheap neighborhood
Nope.
by any
No.
means.
Nope.
So you got to think her rent.
Presumably that opened.
Which,
when,
by the
like,
way,
so long
did you
ago
check
that-
out the apartments these people were living in?
I know.
I have a note.
Do you?
I have a note
You could have
about
saved
it.
Of
the
the
business if you
non-real-
about
downsized
it.
your apartment.
The unrealistic apartments that they had?
She's living in a
Yep.
she's living in like a Carrie Bradshaw type
gorgeous.
townhouse.
I mean, gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Which, by the way, Carrie Bradshaw couldn't afford her townhouse
Thank
either.
you. I
But
agree.
Yeah. Oh my god, but I love the built-ins in her place. Like they were so cute. all of it.
Everything was
you have a
adorable.
little
Yeah.
bookstore.
Oh,
Now,
so cute.
granted, they say that she makes. Remember when they're talking about numbers, and Tom Hanks says to
He
her, "What do you make?"
but he said you sell about 350,000 worth of books a year.
That's not
her
making it.
profit, right?
I mean, rent
She's
is
got-
taking the majority of that.
You've also got employees. She's
got a
3
lot
of
of
them.
employees.
Yeah.
She doesn't need that many employees.
No, she doesn't.
You know,
a tiny
when I
bookstore.
was
Yeah.
rewatching this movie and they all kept walking in,
The
all
one's
these employees,
part-time though, and I don't know how much she's really paying the friend because she said
The
she
accountant
was
lady?
independently wealthy. So I don't know
Yes.
that she's really doing much
I don't,
with that.
but I was thinking the same thing. Why do you need so many employees? It's like you have
Yeah.
a little
I
bookstore.
just don't think she has like the business acumen to like actually think like what's overhead costs, how can I
Right.
cut this down? Like there's a lot you could have done to maybe save this business a little bit.
She didn't really give it a lot.
I felt
of
like she
time.
gave up quick. That bothered me too.
Me too.
On the rewatch, I was like, "You're already giving
So
up."
my
Like,
problem with this was like I didn't love her character in
No,
this, and
I
it was
didn't either.
different in her character in Sleepless in
in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Here, like she was a little more feisty there, and here she's just like there's like a
She's whiny. She's
there's
whiny.
Very Eeyore
Yes.
elements to her in this
Yes.
one. Like she's just the blue one from Inside Out. You
Yeah.
know? It's like,
The
you know, and
blue
I'm just
one
like,
from Inside
how
Out.
about fight a little bit
Yeah.
harder and like be a little bit savvier, and instead she's just like defeatist, and I
Yeah.
didn't love that about her.
I mean, there were those like scenes where she's like, "I'm not going to be defeatist. I'm going to go to the mattresses," and she gets
when
her
she's
boyfriend.
boxing.
And
Yeah.
she gets
Yeah.
her boyfriend to write the article.
Yeah.
Greg Kinnear when he writes the
It was
article.
more her
and-
persona more than her actions.
Yeah.
I think it was just like
I agree
there
with
was,
you.
like, a
She
theme.
just came across as whiny, like
Whiny
meh,
and, like, meh.
meh.
Yeah.
Guys, you're ruining a movie.
well, that's what we're here for.
Correct.
That's what we're here for.
Listen, they ruined it for me when I rewatched
Yeah, no,
it.
I mean, listen, I think this movie was always hands down like one of the most romantic movies of all time. And then when you're rewatching it for the purpose of
yeah.
ruining it, you're like, oh man.
But
this
start off
movie's-
from the beginning. We're not legal yet, but they're not such nice people, either one of them. They're both involved in relationships.
Very serious relationship.
Okay, they're involved in relationships where I mean, it wasn't clear that they were totally living together, but
Tom
they were
Hanks-
partially living together.
Tom Hanks and the girlfriend are living together.
Parker
Was it Parker
Posey.
Posey? Yes.
Yeah,
They're
who was
living
also
together.
annoying as hell in the
I know,
show.
but I love her.
I know.
They were living together. Meg Ryan and Greg Kinnear
We're sort of, kind of.
sort of kind
They're
of.
definitely very serious.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they're both having this clandestine,
An emotional affair.
online,
In a
emotional
way.
relationship with this
Whether they
other-
realize it or not, it's an
Yeah.
emotional affair.
Yeah.
Point, right.
Yeah.
And they're very much hiding it. Like they both sit there and spy to make sure that their significant other's gone.
Right. Like once you're
before
doing
they
that,
log
you know
on.
that you're doing something wrong.
That's-
Which,
a
by the
little-
way, I also thought that part was kind of funny because nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
if someone's sitting on their computers checking their emails,
No
your
one thinks
spouse-
anything
no one
of
thinks
it.
anything of it. But they
Right.
had to specifically wait to be alone,
Right,
so
right.
they could look at their emails.
Right. It was such a different time, like a snapshot
Yes.
of when like the
Well,
internet was so like
in all
novel
fairness-
to like
Yeah.
everyday citizens.
In
Yeah.
all fairness to Meg Ryan, Greg Kinnear's character was kind of such a jerk about like technology's going to ruin the world, so he didn't want to see her on a computer.
Yeah.
He's like,
Did you guys ever see the clip from the Today Show from like the early 90s when they're talking about internet?
the interwebs.
They're talking about the internet and Katie Couric. It's Katie Couric and Brian Gumbel, I want to say, and
It was.
they're talking. Have you seen this clip?
Yeah.
And Katie Couric looks at the camera. They're talking to like a producer, and they're kind of like we talked to Josh.
What is
when
this thing?
And
Yeah.
they said Katie Couric literally said, "What is internet?"
I love that. I
Right?
love that. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I will say I was in college in the early 2000s, and my senior thesis, because I was a journalism major, was about
Oh,
like
no kidding.
was about like
Now that
basically
fascinates
like
me.
the CNN effect, which like you know where global news media affects like international diplomacy and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But taking it a little step further to like how the internet like affects it, and then the last chapter of this, like I have it at home, like bound and beautiful. The last chapter is like what the future holds for us potentially, and it's this thing called weblogs or
What?
blogs.
Blogs?
And will these weblogs be taken seriously so much that we might get
Diana.
our news from weblogs instead of like CNN.com?
I took a class in undergrad, and
Aren't you prescient? Aren't you?
Look
though?
at me,
Look at
Nostradamus.
you.
I took a class in undergrad, and part of our grade, part of like our weekly homeworks, where we had to write weblogs on
Weblogs.
on certain
People
topics.
never even realized that. That's
and
what blogs.
we
You
had
know
to
what?
go. We had to go and comment on our classmates' weblogs.
Oh, okay.
And it was like the professor would check and to see that you were like
See, it's
participating.
different for you guys
Weblogs.
because you're like, I was in college, not
Before
quite, but like about almost 10 years before you guys. So it was different. And I just started thinking about when I wrote my senior thesis, pretty sure I typed it. Like, it wasn't on a computer.
It was a typewriter?
Like
You
a
had to,
typewriter. I think I typed it. Like, I don't think I did it on a computer. And a lot of my research was books.
I mean, we had to do
physical
Yeah, we did
books,
book
like
research.
not the
Even in law
internet.
school, we had to do book research.
Yeah.
You know? But it wasn't too far off. This movie was what, 1998?
1998.
1998. I finished college in 94. So this is 4 years later.
This is like the start of things.
And that's
it's
actually when
around
I started like checking out AOL
Yeah.
and
I think that like
all that
like, 'cause
stuff.
middle school, like 8th grade ish.
Oh, I don't remember.
It
I don't
was.
know. I think
think
my
so.
first email address was college, probably.
No, but I'm
Oh,
saying
no,
like
that's
this
not
is
true. I
when
had
the
email in
internet
high school.
started
That's
to be
not
like
true.
a little bit more of my like life.
Daily life,
Like,
yes.
yeah.
No, in high school for sure. We had email because I remember we had classes. But in any case, this movie has sort of turned from being something super romantic to now we watch it being like catfishing, stalking.
There's a lot of like disturbing
fraud.
things happening.
fraud,
Whether they're all legal or not, like
Sabotage,
there's not a
like-
in terms of legal violations, maybe
business
not, but there's a lot
Right.
of ethical.
There's a lot of
issues.
ethical issues
So
for sure.
let's dive in.
Yeah, let's.
I think the biggest one is that he, a rival competitor, like business competitor, is speaking to her without her knowing who he is.
He finds out eventually.
He
in the
finds
beginning,
out.
he
I
doesn't
mean,
know.
I'm gonna say,
But he
in all
finds out.
fairness, I will say he did not know at
But
the beginning.
when he did find out, he did not walk into that restaurant.
No, he did not.
And sit down with Kathleen
And
say, hey,
it's me.
funny story.
Instead, when Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
tells him,
Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle.
I forgot that Dave
go
Chappelle
look,
was in
go
this.
look who it is.
So did
and then
I.
he goes, look, he keeps it a secret for
Yeah.
months and months and months
Yes.
thereafter, while his business is basically responsible for shutting hers down.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is divulging things to him in his communications about, her
My
business,
business
her
is in
business
trouble.
is in
I need
trouble
help.
and this.
Yeah.
Like-
and he's giving her advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before he finds out, she's asking him about this, and he's telling her, go to the mattresses, and it's the whole scene from The Godfather, right?
Yeah, and then what is it with guys in The Godfather?
Godfather, right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because it's the same guy who's now said it to you twice. That's what the thing is with The Godfather. But he's giving her business advice. In the beginning, he's giving her business advice against
Earnestly.
himself.
Yeah.
Right. But then after the fact, but also... at one point, he starts giving her advice to make the internet guy look bad, right? Because now he's trying to get into her good graces in real life, and he's trying to make the internet guy look bad, right?
Yeah.
So you remember he's like...
Who's still him, but he's sabotaging himself.
He's
It's very
sabotaging
confusing.
himself because
Yeah.
he wants Meg Ryan to love him in real life, not online.
Yeah.
But that also speaks to, is he sabotaging his own business? Does his board have a claim against him? Is he somehow helping her keep her business, thereby
That's
sabotaging
interesting.
his business?
I hadn't thought about that, but you have a really valid point there.
I'm sure I
Because
do.
He has an obligation to his shareholders, assuming they have shareholders.
And they're big enough
like
that
the
they
way
do.
that Barnes and Noble works
Yes.
now, and it's not a privately held. And it could have been because in this movie they show Fox and Sons, was
Sons,
it?
yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
having 3 generations
Right.
involved.
So they are big
By the
enough.
way, all awful when it comes to
Awful.
relationships. Horrible.
All right.
I mean, Grandpa's got a child, okay?
So Grandpa's daughter
Is like, what, 8?
Is Tom Hanks'
Aunt.
aunt.
Who's like 8.
Yes.
And his brother from his dad
yeah.
is 4.
Yes.
That's right.
Well,
Like-
that's fun.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's deceptive trade practices. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's he is theoretically could be using information from her
Yeah.
to better his own business
Sure.
at the detriment of hers,
Sure.
giving her the wrong advice. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it's,
she has no
I
idea.
think she's definitely got
we don't know if any confidential
She's
information.
definitely got a tort civil claim, I would
right.
think.
And I don't. Well, we don't know if any we don't see all their communications. We don't know if very confidential business information is being shared, but if it is,
But when he makes that transition from not knowing that she's his pen pal to knowing that she's his pen pal, and he decides that he is in fact in love with her and he's going to try to make her fall in love with him, the sense that we get is that they are sharing these deep personal conversations and they talk about her business. And so to me, the implication is that they are in fact sharing these things, and she is sharing things about how she's going to have to shut down and this, that, and the other. And he's not saying a word to her. And poor Meg Ryan is sitting there going,
Woe is me.
Woe is me.
Yeah.
by the way, not to digress, but every single time I say Meg Ryan's name, I have to tell you guys a story about Meg Ryan. So when I graduated undergrad, literally the day of graduation, my good friend Renata and I decided to go have lunch to celebrate that we were done. And we went to have lunch in Soho. And lo and behold, I look over and Meg Ryan is sitting.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God.
Meg Ryan is sitting like a few tables away, and she stands up to go to the bathroom. And we're sitting, there's like a table of, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of us. And I somehow have to tell all of my friends that Meg Ryan is coming our way, but I'm also trying to not be very obnoxious. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And it was like not a huge place.
Oh gosh.
And
what
so
did you
what's
do?
the best way to do it? You say it in Russian, right? Because everybody at the table understands. And so what do I say in Russian? I say, guys, at the Meg Ryan.
And then Meg Ryan was like, "The fuck you said about me?"
Yeah, right.
And so to this day, whenever Meg Ryan comes up, we all just yell to each other, guys, at the Meg Ryan. So like you just do it, but
You know
with like
what?
a
I
Russian
bet
accent.
she didn't even realize because of the Russian accent.
Because of the Russian
You
accent.
Totally,
At the Meg Ryan.
you totally got away with that one.
And that is my Meg Ryan story.
I thought you started banging on the table and going,
No.
I'll have what she's having. Yes. I mean,
That probably would have been better.
okay,
But I
so
can't hear her name without like hearing it with the Russian accent.
I think that you are right that there would be she would have, I think, if anything, maybe a claim for an emotional.
don't you think tortious interference with business?
There could be a tortious interference with prospective economic advantage
Yeah.
or prospective business advantage. There could be something like that, but unless there's confidential information being shared, it might also just be like, wisen up. Like a judge would be like, maybe don't share things like this with a stranger
With a
on the
random
internet.
stranger.
Do you think?
But I think that there's an emotional distress claim she could make if she really felt like this was like the reason that her business and that
But
he didn't.
also, was he using me? Was he making me fall in love with him to get info about my business? And then does Tom Hanks get to claim in his defense, no, I actually was in love with her?
Well,
does
no,
that
but
erase all
what,
bad
what would the
deeds?
legal claim be, though? The claim can't just be like, was he in love with me
No.
or anything like that. I don't know that there's a concrete legal claim.
Fraud.
What fraud?
He
What are you gonna
induced,
say?
he like,
Fraudulently induced her to do what?
to fall in love with him just to get insider info. He infiltrated her business and her heart.
You're a moron if you let that happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say.
Was she the smartest? I don't know.
But I don't think that would be a
so.
fraud
No,
claim.
she was not a brain surgeon like she was in City of Angels, which is another crap
Oh,
ass.
I remember with Nicolas
that
Cage.
movie.
Sorry, with Nicolas Cage.
I didn't like that
Horrible movie. Horrible.
But I don't
didn't
think that
really
would
get it
be a fraud claim. I think any claim here, a legal claim, would be thrown out. I think it would be interesting to consider one, but I think a judge would just say you probably shouldn't share information with a stranger online about what's happening with your business.
You know, I don't know though, because
He had no fiduciary duty. Like there was no duty of care.
No.
Like they don't have any kind of.
but I think that,
Contractual obligation
but
to
I
one
think
another.
I think the crux of that argument is going to turn over whether Tom Hanks was doing this on purpose to get the information out of her. Like if you and I are just chatting and I share information with you, are you liable for knowing that information? Or if you're trying to like,
I don't think so
In-
because you told me the
But if-
information.
Even if he was trying to get it out of her, again, he has no duty to her.
you don't think that's some
It's
type
not
of like,
insider trading. We're not talking about stocks.
Right.
but you
We're
don't
not
think it's
talking
like some
about-
type of like corporate espionage?
I think that
a la Willy Wonka?
I think it is in an ethical sense. I don't think there's a legal claim.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I don't know. I
don't know.
I think it's just
well,
an ethical
look, I mean,
concern.
from the context of the movie, we didn't get any sense that there was some big secrets that were being shared.
No,
Right,
but
she
she was
wasn't
sharing
like,
her
here are all our
finances.
sales.
I mean,
Like,
it's not like super hard.
He's not
to-
looking at her books.
No, he guessed. Like, I mean,
But again, even if he was,
so
if
what?
she shared her books with him,
Right.
that's on her.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I mean, I don't like it.
No,
No, we don't like it, and maybe it's unethical. But I just don't think that there's any kind of liability to him or any criminal behavior that we can prescribe. To
Is catfishing illegal? I don't think it's illegal.
no.
I don't think it is either. Although we talk about it a lot nowadays.
There was a whole show.
And again, I
Yeah.
think it's an ethical dilemma rather than a legal one.
There was a whole
Well,
show about it on MTV.
It's interesting though because with some of these catfishing things, the
Catfishing
issues.
itself, which is
Cat-
the creating of a fake
Yeah.
online identity to deceive someone else, is not always illegal. However,
Right.
it can become a crime when it involves other illegal
That's
activities.
what I was gonna say. Like if you're soliciting money from people under
That's
false
illegal.
pretenses,
Sure.
that I would call illegal.
Sure.
But the creating the fake
Identity
identity
theft,
in and of itself may not
cyber
be.
stalking,
Yeah.
solicitation of a minor, Right. It would have to be one of those. I think on its own, you can pretend to be someone else, make someone fall in love with you, and that's okay.
I know somebody who fell victim to something stupid like that.
Catfishing?
Because they started communicating with somebody who they thought was one person online, and they became friendly, and the person said something to the effect of, I need you to do me a favor. I'm going to transfer money to your account.
That is where...
And then I'm going... And
That's
can you
illegal.
transfer it to somebody else for me? Like, basically... And I'm sitting here going, so you got involved in money laundering? Like, what the hell did you do?
Was it you? Were you the friend?
No, it was not me. And so...
A friend of mine.
I'm not that much of a schmoo, thanks. But, so no. And what, I guess apparently what happened, because I wasn't quite understanding, like, what... And I'm like, was it laundering? Like, what happened? But apparently... It made it look like they transferred money into the account. And then when he went to transfer it out, there was no actual money. So the bank contacted him and was like, what's going on? You're doing money. And they made him replace the money in the account.
That's crazy. Wait,
it was a big deal.
Well, regardless, I just don't think that here we have any kind of...
Led to complications in the marriage,
but there's no legal issue here for him.
And
I don't think he
I actually have a question. Devil's advocate it for a second. Did he actually catfish her? He never pretended to be someone online.
I mean, that's almost like a act by omission.
But hold on. When he was trying to get her to fall in love with him, like in real life, he was making the online guy try to look bad.
I know, but still, he knew that there was an online guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, this guy, like, he is
He
basically...
withheld that it was
catfishing.
him.
He is catfishing, 1,000%.
Yeah.
He's catfishing.
Okay.
But that's not a crime on its own.
Right.
But and because he's Tom Hanks,
and I don't think he...
Well, I mean, I just think,
I don't think he induced her to commit any
induce her.
crime.
No.
So
she's just kind of...
dumb.
Yeah, she's really naive and
yeah.
just like, I just don't like her in this movie. But, okay, another issue that, because I saw it on the list of potential catfishing issues, defamation.
Okay.
Was it defamation when Kathleen makes all those kind of critical remarks about Fox Books on TV,
True.
and then also in that article. And the
But
answer is no.
technically, she didn't lie.
Well, she didn't lie.
All she did was quote back what he said.
I mean, it was also all just opinion. Because
Yeah.
if she just says, like, they're bullies, and what else did she say? I don't even remember, but
it was something
she
about
compared
the
them to a virus,
oil and,
and that
But
they're
right,
corporate
that's not
bullies.
defamation.
That's not defamation because it's her opinion. So
Yeah.
she's allowed to like badmouth them. Doesn't mean that's defamatory.
And then they go to him for like a rebuttal, but then they edit everything that
Yeah, I
he says
know.
out of it.
I know, I
was
love
kinda-
that.
yeah.
If she had said something like, "I know that they are price gouging," and they are like, if she made
Yeah,
factual
right.
claims against them, then it would be defamatory. But to be like, they suck, they're assholes. Like you're allowed to do that, and that no one can sue you for
Right.
it, or at least not successfully.
Right.
I mean, listen, guys, I just love this movie very much, and I still loved it when I rewatched it. But when I rewatched it with a different like lens, it's not great.
No,
it's not great.
It is not great. It is not great. And for me, her forgiving him at the end was unforgivable for me. I can't even understand.
I mean, it's a really, really great scene.
I wished it was you.
I hope it was you. Yeah, you know what though?
I know.
That scene is like, I do love that scene, just her saying that. But yes,
but
in the context of everything,
you're like,
then I'm like, what?
I think when we watched it originally, it's the super romantic scene where it's clear that she loves him back, obviously. And she's like, I wish it was you, and yada, yada, yada. And then watching it back as adults in real life, you're thinking to yourself, shit, man, you just spent 6 months knowing who I am.
Right. And
but
hid it from me.
And not telling me.
You know what, though?
Watching me close my store.
You ran me out of business. Like
when, I would want to know,
I can't.
When did you find out that I am shop girl, whatever it was?
Hopefully Dave Chappelle is like, he found out when we were outside
Yeah,
that
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
And you had that rose.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I think this is just another movie in a long string of movies that kind of set women's expectations super low about what, like there's just a string of movies, and by string I mean all of the movies of our youth.
She's all that.
Is just like, hey, just take the bare minimum. Oh yeah, he can deceive you, and in the end, you're still gonna want him.
I mean, there's so many movies. 10 Things I Hate About You. She's
I
all
like
that.
that.
When
No,
she was,
I
come on, she was a bet. She was a fucking bet.
No, 10 Things I Hate About You. I love that one.
I love
Julia
them all.
Stiles was strong in that
she,
movie.
you know what?
I will say
Jenny,
something to you.
Her hair was in a ponytail. She wore glasses and overalls, and there's paint on her overalls.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
really.
what did she expect?
And, ooh.
No,
What does
hold
she
on.
expect?
Don't misunderstand me. All of those movies are phenomenal.
No, but where did it set our expectations low?
He was
I
paid.
feel like-
He was paid
okay,
to
he
take
was
her
paid,
out.
but
Right, we're just like we forgive men because this is not even gonna be legal now. It's just like psychologically. Women are quick to forgive men because we grew up with movies that said no matter what they do, in the end,
If they sing
you
you
take him back if he wants you still.
And if Heath Ledger like sings you a song on the bleachers.
But Heath Ledger was so cute.
I know.
cute.
May he rest in peace. Heath Ledger.
I know.
Pour one out.
So sad.
The point is, but no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like they do these
All of these
really
movies
pretty
were-
terrible things.
Men can do horrible things
Yeah.
and deceive you and basically make it so that how could you ever trust him again? But you know what? If he still wants you, you take him. You take
But
him
also,
back.
what about all the John Hughes movies from
Like Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink.
yeah, and no, what's
16
Candles,
Candles. And then what? Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
I mean, he's horrible to Molly Ringwald in Breakfast Club.
Or
Like
what's his face?
horrible.
Emilio Estevez and Ali Sheedy, like
In
and
Breakfast
she's
Club,
like,
yeah.
she's like, oh, okay, like you're just like, oh, but the male
But it's so
attention is
romantic.
back.
Yes.
I will take you back. Not even a grand gesture. Like Heath Ledger at least did the fucking dance.
Yeah.
But like, what did Joe Fox do? Nothing. You just walk through a park with a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and
it's
he
you.
said, "Don't cry, shop girl, don't cry."
Yeah, right.
I mean, and that's it.
I know.
A whole generation of women just ruined because of these.
I mean,
movies.
I don't know that I disagree with you.
Right?
For once.
Yeah, I know, right? This one thing that we're going to agree on
Consensus.
is that all these movies,
No.
and even the ones that are beloved, and you're like,
They're all beloved.
When you
I
rewatch
love
it,
it.
you're like, oh my God,
this
this is
is a
what set-
really
it
disappointing
set
rom-com.
the psychological, like, effects.
Well, think about American Pie. Even
Oh, my
everyone.
God.
We talked about this
Yeah.
during American Pie. Everyone forgave Jim for really a horrible
For
thing
like
that
the
he did.
horrible, you should literally death penalty for
Yeah.
that. and like just an awful crime.
Has
And
this
we
become a
punish her.
guy bashing episode?
I mean, I think so, but like, I mean, so not that.
Sorry,
many-
guys, come back
This
next
is a
time.
movie with not as many legal issues as there are ethical
Yeah.
issues. Borderline, corporate, maybe on the cusp of some sort of liability, illegality.
Yeah.
But mostly, we just rewatched this movie and we ruined it for you by saying,
Yeah.
just there's the ethics in this. They're like,
Yeah. And before we wrap it up, can we talk about the son or the dad and the grandpa and all of their wives and all of their
All of the
their
wives.
responsibilities, and also how every single time they get rid of a wife or a girlfriend, they end up moving into their boat and then they live on their boat.
This did make me want to live on a boat, though.
Did
I
it?
Like, I like the concept
I don't
of living
know.
on- I sleep better on boats.
Like off the coast of Manhattan?
Yep.
I
there.
I
just-
actually found that
Chelsea
really,
Piers.
really hard to believe
What?
that they were living off a pier.
Off a
Why?
pier in
A
the city.
minute. I just did. Like I would have accepted that more if it was Sleepless in Seattle and they were in Seattle, but New York, who the fuck lives off a boat?
I mean,
Like,
well, maybe
Why
not
didn't they
Manhattan.
just go to like a fancy hotel?
Right.
Maybe not
They got
Manhattan,
gobs
but like
of money.
I know
Like-
I know people who had a houseboat that they lived on Long Island, like
Long
yeah?
Island, not in the middle of the city.
right, and it was
What is
lovely,
it?
and I
Is
loved
it off
it.
of is it off the West Side Highway? Their boat?
No, see, like that's the issue. It's like, where is it? Is it Chelsea Piers? Like I don't know.
I don't
Is it
know.
like the South Street?
But also,
it just doesn't make sense.
Which pier?
But also, and this is where the divorce lawyering comes in. They're vacating the marital residences. And
Well, no. Now, Papa Fox,
not Grandpa.
he made
Papa.
Papa.
Yeah.
He made a comment of, well, at least you didn't marry her. So they have a kid together.
Yeah.
They were gonna get married. They didn't get married.
So all
But
the
because
more,
Jillian ran away with Nanny Maureen,
the Nanny
which
Maureen, yeah.
is hilarious
Yeah.
to
Love
me.
it.
But hold on, even more so if they're not married. Let's presume that the apartment was owed by Papa Fox.
Yeah.
Right?
I
So
think
he
if
just
the-
got up and left.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he loses ownership of it.
No, but custody rights. He's basically giving her de facto primary custody by moving out of the house, right? So what do we tell our clients, Liz? If there is no domestic violence, right? Stay put. Stay put because you're creating a second set of expenses and you're creating a de facto parenting and custody agreement.
That's it.
Granted, he doesn't care if he's got a second set of expenses.
See, that's
'cause
actually
He
important
also
to know.
doesn't
He's got so
care
much money.
whether he doesn't want custody of that kid. Let's get real.
I mean,
Ooh.
that might be true, but that doesn't.
Skylar Fox, 80 years old.
Yep.
He's the founder of Fox Books. Nelson Fox, he's in his 60s. And then
Serial dater / marrier of younger women.
Yes, that was.
And by the way,
Dabney Coleman.
But by the way, that was kind of creepy, right? That
Yes.
that stepmama Fox kept like trying to touch.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, but that
Tom
was part of
Hanks.
the weird. It was super creepy, but that was also part of the weird, where like, because she's doing that, and then you find out she ran over Nanny Maureen, and I'm like, what?
Look.
I was a
no,
little
she thinks
confused.
both ways.
Yeah,
She's
I was.
We
confused.
listen and we don't
She
judge.
loves the people, not their gender.
Right.
Like, you know.
Oh, so she was ahead of her time too.
She was ahead of her
That's
time.
right. That's right. That's right. In any case,
Yeah, I mean, I think we've ruined it. I could get into like data privacy concerns more, but like,
Go for it, Diana.
I mean, no. At the
like,
time,
nah,
we didn't have
nobody
the protections
well,
we have
that's
now,
true.
but
It was the dawn of the internet. There was no
but
real.
yeah,
Yeah,
generally,
right.
like, I
What
mean, at
is
this point,
internet?
all of your data is being, probably saved by. I mean, AOL. Is AOL even around anymore? But
I think it is. But
I
yes,
don't
no,
know,
it is.
But I don't know in what capacity. Like, it's not the way it was.
I still have some adversaries whose email addresses are at AOL.com.
As is my partner's, which I can't even believe.
What?
Yeah,
Robin.
correct. She
She
still
has
has
an
an
AOL
email.
Robin.
Shout out.
I'm going to need you to explain yourself, ma'am.
I mean, up until like 2 years ago, my mom had an AOL.
She
account.
likes her. Yeah.
But-
She actually gets email?
I mean, there's no way that anyone
Guess
respects
so.
her, so that's.
Wait, can you give it to me?
that.
I'm going to send her an email.
But I think that one thing to note is like even though they were anonymous to each other on this on AOL,
Yeah.
like they were never actually anonymous. Like right, like all of the data is stored by AOL. You can, if you wanted to, you could find out who the other person was.
Probably
Easier
not
today
back in
than
the
then,
day, yeah.
But the same went for back then as it does now. None of you're never anonymous on the internet. is
True.
Basically,
No. And whatever you put on the internet,
Stays
be
on the
there.
internet.
kind
It
of
might
like,
get
kind of like
buried.
Vegas.
all the kids in the world need to know that.
100%.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
And also don't make your, well, at the time it was called screen name. Now we call it what? Handles. Don't put your address into your handle. That's just something I learned from Tom Hanks also.
That's really important. So that's really good. Okay, so we're really teaching them everything, not
Look,
just law.
look, guys. I loved this movie then. I love this movie now. Is it problematic? Sure. But honestly, so is every movie that we have done here, because that's kind of the point of this entire experience. True.
So how many children's books do we give this one?
What's our angle on it?
I have no idea at this point. This one's
I
mind-boggling.
don't think
I
it's,
will
I don't
tell
think
you.
it's very legally problematic.
I agree.
It's
so
not.
I would give it about maybe a 7.
a
Because it's
seven.
not
I'll
legally
agree.
problematic.
I think so.
Morally problematic,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, that one. I mean, like one book for like how ethical their actions
Their
are.
actions
or
are,
some
sure.
of their actions are in this.
Sure.
And I think the fact that we celebrate as the male protagonist of this film someone who was really just deceptive and yucky.
Yeah.
In terms of
Oh,
like his
you can't
character.
call Tom Hanks yucky.
Not
That's
him,
the
but
hard
But
part.
Joe Fox is yucky.
Yeah. That's
right.
the hard part, is calling him yucky.
Of
Calling
course,
Tom
we all
Hanks
love
yucky.
Tom
I
Hanks.
know.
Okay,
I
that's
know.
everyone knows that. It's
I
in
know.
our
It's hard.
Constitution.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I read
But
it.
this is not my
The-
favorite
the one time
character
I
of
read the
his.
Constitution.
No.
What is your favorite character?
Of his?
Is it Forrest?
Oh, I do
Big.
love Forrest, but
Big.
no, Big is good too. But if you're gonna get serious and you're gonna talk about a legal movie, Philadelphia.
Phil-
was
I was
Oh
gonna
my God,
say
Philadelphia.
yeah, that was a good.
Oh,
one.
and
You know
also
what? I
Sleepless
also
in
realized.
Seattle.
Wait, and
Yeah.
wait, what about
They also
um,
did him and Meg Ryan. They also did Joe versus the
Meg
volcano
Ryan.
Oh yeah,
together.
yeah. Well, we don't.
you mean Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan.
We
yeah.
can't even acknowledge that movie.
What was the one with Wilson?
Oh, Castaway.
Castaway. That was.
Yeah.
a
I mean,
fun one.
he just.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
love Tom.
We love you, Tom Hanks. Come on our podcast.
Come on our podcast, Tom
What
Hanks.
was the one where he played the pilot?
Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
And then
he's
there's-
amazing. He's
And then
Yeah.
there was the one with the Somalian pirates, where they say, "I am the captain now."
Captain Phillips. Yes. No, he's fantastic.
You know
You know
what?
what? A movie that didn't do very well, and I think it's divisive. It called The Lady Killers. It came out in the early 2000s, and
know if I've seen
it was
that.
like one of his lesser pop like.
Oh, I don't
that
know that
movies.
one.
Yeah.
I loved his character in that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
quirky. It's a different side of him that you've never seen.
See,
Oh, cool.
look, we
See, now I remember Tom Hanks starting out with
Bosom Buddies?
Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it when they dressed in drag.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious.
Listen,
Fantastic.
we tore Jason Biggs to pieces during American Pie, and I don't think he's coming on our podcast. And now we've torn
I
Tom
disagree.
Hanks to
I think
pieces.
he's a strong
I think
individual.
that if Jason Biggs has a spine, he would come on and defend the actions of Jim from American Pie.
He would, and I
Is
bet,
that gonna get him
or
on?
not,
Will
or
that
not.
work? Is that
He
gonna work?
might back up the truck on Jim. I don't
I
know,
don't know. But yes.
But I don't think he's afraid of us. That's for sure.
No, I don't think he knows we exist.
No.
Even though we tried to tag him.
tried to
Should
tag
we
him.
tag Tom Hanks in this one?
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
he'll listen.
sure.
He'll listen.
Yeah.
Actually,
Sure.
he's so nice, he might actually just listen.
And you know what? Maybe we can tag Meg Ryan in
was
my
about
Meg
to
Ryan
say-
story.
I say we should tag Rita Wilson instead because I think we're more apt to get in through her. She's cool.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do My Big Fat Greek Wedding since she produced that.
Wait, I love
I
that movie
love
so
it.
much.
Put some index
God,
on
you
it.
guys just reminded me. You know what else I love? That Thing You Do.
Oh my God, that thing
That
you do
was
is so
such
good.
a great movie.
And
Yeah.
great soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right, kids.
All right, anyway, off track.
Memory lane all the time.
Ah,
Sorry.
well.
This
Thank
is
you
what
for
happens when
joining
we talk
us.
movies, guys.
This was really fun. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Let's Ruin It Podcast. You can see our faces on Spotify and on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can like, follow, and subscribe. You can comment on Instagram. You can
do so
share
many
it.
things.
And keep the suggestions coming. We will try to abide,
Yes.
even when we're really really picking things apart to
No,
find.
there was enough here.
We want
Yeah.
to at least give it the effort, the good
Yeah.
try, because if you want us to cover the movie, we will attempt
we
it.
we have some 80s classics coming up
Yep.
that I think guys will love. When I say guys, I
We
just mean
loved it. I
collectively.
mean,
Folks.
Yeah.
Folks
Things
will
that
love.
have like anniversaries this year and things too,
Yes.
which will be fun.
And
Yes.
that have been
Good.
suggested to us by
Yeah.
our
Yes.
listeners.
that's
And so
good.
if you have anything that you'd like us to ruin, that's like not
Someone
from the
suggested
80s.
that we do maybe a classic,
Like
like
what
an
kind of classic?
old classic,
Like
like a
what?
black and white oldie,
Like, give me an example.
from
Like,
like a Casablanca,
like a It's a
which is
Wonderful
not
Life you made us
necessarily a
watch.
bad idea. Like if we do
Casablanca.
an old one, if anybody's got a
I
good
don't know.
classic,
I can't off the top of my head think what I would ruin about Casablanca.
We'll have
Really?
to look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a thought.
Also, if you're a criminal attorney, please come on our podcast so we can finally
My
do
cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny. We can't do it until we have a criminal attorney
Quintessential.
joining us.
Because we are so
Quintessential.
we don't want to ruin it in a bad way.
And it's such a different area of the law that we couldn't even
Right.
start to really understand as fully as we do.
Yes.
True.
Yes. Oh, a gem of
It is.
In any case, thank you guys for joining us so much. We will see you next time. And
Signing off.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.